interesting interview from Anders. I know he sits out this round and he's not playing, but it was clear to see that he was happy to take a draw from that game.
That was a really good interview. I loved it, and I really love what Anders said. If I'm playing Manu, which is the current world champion, I'll still feel I'm better than him.
Oh! Well, speaking of the world champion, Gravison, you may have cursed him. He's 1-0 down. Antoninigabrriel was just scored within minutes of this game. But as you're right to say, the interview was so interesting from Anders. I mean, you always see him so confident and oozing confidence. Very much respectable there, saying, look, that's going to be my tough game in the group. I've got a tough group, but that's going to be my really big matchup, the one I'll circle now and back in January. If I can come out of that unbeaten and not drop a win, at least I'm taking a point from the game. He's happy with that. Yeah,
he's happy with that because he feels he can win the rest of his matches, and if he just draws with Manu, he's all right. But I really like the confidence in Anders. Like, he's playing the world champ, the current world champ, and he still feels he has to win, and he still feels he's better than him. So I think that's the right attitude you gotta have if you're just aiming to be the best player in the world right now.
Well, these two players haven't won yet here in the FC Pro Open here in Group C, and also their items haven't been upgraded yet. As you can see, Lozano there, sorry, of PSV, looking to find an equaliser for Frank Ribery. One more pass, easy as you like. MANUBACHOORE will make it 1-1. Eusebio, the 3 million coin man, proving what he's worth. The big bucks in these teams. Or seeing it on the replay, Frank Ribery just putting on a plate for the Portuguese forwards. Thank you very much, 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, we always say Manu, if we have to define him as a player, he's methodical. And I think he follows the school. He's playing for Team Holy. We know how Renzo likes to play. And I think this goal just proves it. It was just a ball roll. He was patient. He could pass it to Eusebio. Easy tap in. I think we just saw a typical Team Holy goal.
Well, just look at the accolades of Team Hullet in the last year. EA Sports Cup winners 2v2 last year. A World Championship win for them. Their team pretty much made up the Netherlands roster in the Nations World Championships last year. They came second in that tournament. E-Champions League winner. We could be here all day. E-Divise winners.
It goes on.
They just win
and
and they win and they win and they win, and they've just got their hands really stuck into competitive FC. By doing it the right way from the ground up, whether it's content creation to developing the next future stars. Speaking of Team Hullet, their world champion MANUBACHOORE looking to try and take the lead in this game. Frank Ribery, new icon this year, has not looked out of place by any means. Eusebio,
patient,
a familiar face. Once again back in the teams again. Ribery, what can we see? A reverse elastico, does win a corner. It was a battle against his fellow national teammate of Laurent Blanc. There's Ron, did score a Trivela from distance, might fancy another one this time. Somehow Eusebio weaves his way around 2 or 3 tackles there. We'll see another corner. Played in great turn from Ribery. Great disguised pass. Unfortunately, Socrates couldn't find his way through on that occasion. Abili, she's also not looked out of place by any means. New French female icon this year, offers you just the perfect stats to work as a box-to-box midfielder.
I would say Antonini is probably using 71 depth on his tactics, the way he's defending.
Not the famous 71 depth, Gravison.
Yeah, the famous one. I think it's still usable, and I think it's still OP after the patch.
But the patch hasn't affected it?
Maybe a little bit, because of the way you can attack by the middle, but it's still OP, in my opinion.
We'll speak more on that patch in a second. If you don't know what we're talking about, the game had a slight update just last week, which will affect the approach of a lot of these FC Pro players. That's just too easy. Too easy, just to let Frank Ribery open up his body and turn.
Easy goal. Easy goal. And I want to talk about the way Manu is playing, which is exactly the same way Emre used to play in the first week. He's just patient and he knows how to punish. the 71 depth with the driven passes, pretty much. If you see, he just runs on the wing, just pass it to a midfielder, driven passing to a striker as the defense is coming out, and you have just an easy opportunity. And I think that speaks of the way Renzo is teaching these youngsters how to play. I really do.
He's on for a third. Zambrotta does well to stand on his feet. Ribery, one more, great save, Schmeichel. Still not fully dealt with. Goes for a goal kick. I just wanted to pick up on that goal too. The player switching was obviously what didn't help the move there for Antoninigabrriel was trying to defend. He had 5 players just all boxed up together, which Manu did such a great job of doing. And he was just a second too late. Switched onto the wrong player, which could have helped him a bit more, maybe just to lunge him with a tackle. Franck Ribery was able to open up without any issues.
Maybe a cross.
One ball forwards.
Ooh. Antonini has to step it up a little bit, because if not, I think he's going to be conceding a couple of goals before the halftime. I think his start of the game was really good, but I think right now he's kind of lacking some build-up, especially in defense.
Big run on that far-hand side of your screen. We've been having a bit of a discussion as well. You get involved at home. One icon that's not in the game yet that you would love to see maybe next year. We named a few, didn't we?
Yep.
Iron Robin, Edgar Davids. Not just Dutch icons, but there's quite a few we could sit here and mention. Even someone like Dida,
Whoa.
the Brazilian goalkeeper. So good back in those AC Milan days.
Yeah. Could you say some, I don't know, an English one you would like to see?
English icon. Someone that would be really handy and helpful. One more pass. Garincha! How have you missed? English icons. It's difficult for me because I feel like we are one of the most represented nations in terms of icons in the game already.
Probably.
It's one of them. When you're on the spot and you ask these questions, they're so hard to answer.
I know.
English icon. They must Twitch chat, help me out here. Shout me some names. Spanish icon?
Guti, I told you. I would love to see Guti. I mean, he was fantastic to watch.
Cesc Fabregas.
Oh, that would be amazing. Is he active still?
I think he's going to retire. Here's Ribery. Finesse. Good save from Schmeichel. Oh, Richard Buckley's just come over. It's a Gareth Barry. I mean, I know he loves Gareth Barry. Back post. Ribery fake shot back inside. I mean, I'll give him his dues. He has, I think, the most appearances up there in the Premier League, Gareth Barry, but would he be a usable icon? I don't think he would be.
Maybe a hero, do you think?
Well, that's the debate, isn't it? What makes a player a hero or an icon? I mean, who knows? Maybe one day we'll see a hero squad.
Ooh.
Fingers crossed. Garincha. Looking to come forward, little ball roll. Go on, Baron, tread a bit for me. Oh, this is great feet. Offside.
I just love the way Manu is playing. It's the same as Emre. He showed the Trivela because now his opponent is kind of worried about the Trivela, and when he shows the Trivela, he just driven passes into the striker. There's not much you can do. I really like the way Manu is playing, and the Tripoli guys in general. That's really smart.
So far, Eusebio has been the player to just glue it all together. Ribery, Antoninigabrriel hasn't had too much to shout about 40 minutes in after what was such a positive start.
Have you done the...
And a quick suggestion coming in from the Twitch chat. Jamesy Barr coming in with Stilian Petrov. I mean, he's a bit of a throwback. The Bulgarian player, long ball forward. Eusebio, oh, there's the ball roll! Keeps it in play, though. This is fully alive, Veron. Back to Zanetti, takes a wicked deflection on the way through. 2 hands on it from Schmeichel.
That's a poor touch by Eusebio.
I mean, how's that happen? What buttons has he gone for? Maybe a flick of the stick and it's gone as a heavy touch instead?
I don't know, maybe a double tap? Yeah. I don't know what that was, but yeah.
George Best, he's been pretty quiet so far. Ribéry, oh, there you go. He may have been quiet for about 40 in-game minutes. 40 minutes later, he's back and he's all square.
If you make mistakes, you get punished every single time. He could have gone to the halftime leading 3-1, Manu, because it could have been an easy ball roll, an Eusebio goal. He didn't. And then in the counter-attack, it was a good play by Ribéry. Easy pass to Sawa, and the Japanese icon makes it 2-2.
I know he's not here tonight, but Ryan Pessoa has been such a big fan of that as well, just getting down the byline, even the Lacroqueta shot, which has been very popular. Could see another one. Oh, no. I mean, they do tell you as a kid just to put your foot through it, but I think he's done that and somehow ended up hitting a defender on the way through. Schmeichel's there.
Oh, Rio.
Rio's got in the way of Laurent Blanc. And it's just a shocker at the back. Can't really do anything about it. And it's a gift for the current world champion. Just a quick update from our other game. It's 0-0, by the way, between MANUBACHOORE and Sean LDW. No goals to talk about in that game, but in this game there are plenty of goals to talk about, 5 in total.
Don't watch the clip, man. He's clipping. Antonini is clipping.
I mean, he can clip it all he wants because he can't be harsh to himself on it because he can't do anything. Here we go. Icon suggestions. That has got to be the shout of all shouts coming in from, is it Jurgen? It's Totti and nobody else. That's a great point, by the way. He's not a hero, Totti. He should be an icon. My worry about Totti, though, is pace.
Doesn't matter.
It does, Grav.
It doesn't matter.
You can bring players in the game, but if they're too slow, come on. He's a goal scorer.
I would still use him.
He needs pace.
I'll still use him.
Harry Kewell, I mean, Harry Kewell's already in the game. But Totti, I think Totti deserves to come in.
From Francesco, the main man, Il Capitano. Come on.
One club man, wasn't he, as well?
Yeah, he was.
Crazy number of goals and stats, obviously, for Roma. Get your suggestions in as well. Gary Neville was again. Gary Neville might have much pace, which does worry me a little bit. If we're going to suggest some English icons, let's get some with pace, all right? Because otherwise they're just probably not going to be used. Tony Adams.
I don't know him.
You don't know Tony Adams?
Nope.
Right, well, we better move on. Anyone else coming through, let us know these suggestions in the chat. We appreciate you getting involved in the conversation tonight. Icon managers as well. We spoke a little bit about that. Let us know some icon manager suggestions coming in. Half-time in our round 2 matchup. Anders Vergang is sitting out of this game. We've got a 3-2 scoreline on one hand of our screen. MANUBACHOORE, the current world champion, leading. Remember, if he wins this game, Lozano will be getting an upgrade into an 88 rated player. MANUBACHOORE against Sean is a 0-0, which is surprising because I was looking across the results that we've seen in the last couple of weeks. Our lowest scoring affair has been 3 goals. We've always had goals going in. Yeah,
every single time, which is weird. The way he's not been able to score a single goal in the first half, but let's see what happens in the second half. I mean, it's kind of weird to see 5 goals in one game and then the other with no goals half-time, but it just happens sometimes.
Well, we've got someone to spice up the goals, hopefully. TN is in the commentary booth. Welcome in, my friend.
Hello, Graffadon. I like the name. I like the name. Don't blame me. I didn't make it up.
Please stop what you're getting out. What have you made of the game so far? I mean, you've had the best seat in the house to watch it all unfold. I mean, there's goals in this game, but 0-0 over on the other side of the stage.
Yeah, over on the other side. There was a big chance as well that I saw. It was just unfortunate, obviously, not to go in. But this is the most entertaining game right now. Obviously, a lot happening. Ribéry looks like he's coming to life for Manu right now. He's been very, very clutch. And yeah, he's playing the skinner right now.
One icon to come into the game.
Oh, can I say 2?
Yep. Give us as many as you want.
I want to go Robin. Because obviously you've got Ribéry, you know, you've got to go Robin on the other side. I mean, it makes the most sense. And then I'd probably go second, Edgar Davids maybe.
Bring in the goggles.
Yeah, bring in the goggles, bring in the dreadlocks, you know, a bit of style, bit of aggression. I'm all for that.
I mean, you're right. Franck Ribéry and Ian Robben are just known to be on the same team together, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, when you think about, you know, the historical Bayern teams, it's like Ribéry on one side, Robben on the other side. They're a dynamic duo, beautiful team, and I feel like, you know, you could probably emulate that on the game as well. It would work out.
And they'd both have skills, wouldn't they, Grav? They'd both be skillers. They'd both have a decent week. But here's a chance as we turn our attention back to this one. Manu still in the lead, 3-2, kicking from right to left in that Team Hullet strip. Michael Ballack does get a little bit of an involvement here. I mean, look, he's cheap and cheerful, and he's got not bad stats, to be fair.
Have you guys done the SBC?
No, I haven't. I haven't got around to doing it yet, but I think I saw him sat, who's normal price is like 100 and something K. And from what I'm seeing, for that price, he's delivering.
For that price, to have an overall decent enough midfielder, maybe in the same conversation as Gerrard. No, no, right, okay, I'll be quiet.
Not sure about that one.
He was in the most picked players. Maybe there's a lot of Liverpool fans that were submitting the drafts. Figo, he's been unbelievable.
Oh, Sawa, it's been good then.
Yeah.
Sawa's proven her worth as well. 900k in some of these squads. This is Antonini looking for a third goal and the more important equaliser. Penalty! Zanetti not into the book. He gets away with that one. But this could be a gift from the spot. It's Eusebio for Antonini-Gabriel.
Great finish. Great finish from Eusebio, and that's just what he can do. That's what he provides.
Was that a little bit of laziness defensively there? We'll sit again on the replay and see exactly what happened. Did he press the button or not?
He pressed the button, I think. Yeah.
He's lunged a little bit too early. It's always a risk when you're in the box as well. And obviously, he's been punished for it through Eusebio.
Sawa scored a goal. Now, this penalty. I mean, she's like what, 900k, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, coming into this, I wasn't sure that, you know, she could do it in a competitive setting, but boy, have I been proved wrong, because she's delivering right now.
Someone else that's proved me wrong as well. He's in your team, TN, and that was Luis Figo.
Telling you, man.
Just because he wasn't coming in from the right as I was used to seeing him, in the number 10, he's been influential.
There's something about Figo this year, I think, with the controlled sprint as well, like the dribbling, he's class, so good. Probably the best that he's been in a while.
Hello.
Oh.
There's Laura Blanc on the line. No everyone hates that in weekend league when it happens, but you have to do it. You've got to put a player on the line.
Yeah, it's got to be done. I think I want to say as well, one player that's really impressed me is Veron. Like, again, for 100k, he's been everywhere. His passing, obviously, I think he's got really good passing, like short passes like in the 90s as is the long passing. But the Trivela, I think, obviously having scored in the first game against Anders, I think Manu being able to disguise the Trivela as well has been world class.
Yeah.
And it plays a massive part. And I think it's how it led to one of his goals.
That has to be the player of the night so far, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Are you a Truvella user?
Yeah, I'm shameless, man. I'm not going to lie. Anything mechanical. Even right now as we're watching, I'm trying to pick up tips, honestly.
I mean, we all do the Truvella. And if someone in the chat says he doesn't,
They're lying.
they're lying.
They're lying.
Nice defender.
It's Laurent Blanc, someone who's got under the radar. He's also a very popular pick in at centre-back. We actually saw him involved a couple of times last week for a few players. 3-3 so far. Remember, a win could be an upgrade for Ogbonna or Lozano. Sawa. Blanc again on the opposite side. The press is heavy there by Antonini-Gabriel. George Best off the right-hand side goes in the end for a corner. And into pause we shall go. Speaking of these FC Pro Love items, have you had a dabble? Have you invested?
I've got stocks in Simicon, I'm not going to lie. So, you know, I bought when it was nice and low. Obviously, in the last couple of days, it's gone up a little bit. But, you know, I bought when it was nice and low. And you know, if we can get a nice, you know, nice little upgrade today, I'm not complaining.
When we say nice and low, what are we talking?
Ooh. I think I bought him around, what was it, like 18 or 24
18.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, just before
roughly
the show
around that,
started,
yeah.
he was like 34K,
Yeah,
something like that.
He went up considerably. So, you know, I've made a little bit of profit, but I want to make
You
some
could be
more.
doubling your money.
I could be doing more than that. That's what I want, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's what I want. French centre-back as well. He might even be usable, so you never know.
Pacey defender, Bundesliga.
It's definitely usable. And I mean, with a couple of upgrades, you could talk a meta player.
Yeah, for sure.
There's been a goal over in this game. MANUBACHOORE, if you are a fan of the Saudi Arabian FC Pro player, he leads by a goal to nil. That's the only goal that's gone in there. It hasn't been full of goals, to be honest. It could be our lowest scoring game we've actually seen here at the FC Pro Open ever. 3 weeks in. Obviously, our lowest scoring game was last week, where it was a 3-1 scoreline. So only see one goal, especially in EAFC. Doesn't really feel right.
We could potentially see in a month or so a 99 pace Lozano. Is it in your clubs?
No, I didn't do the SBC.
Come on.
I know. I just didn't get around to getting it done.
He's the weekend league warrior off the bench.
Yeah.
He is.
He is.
That's what I feel like. That's what he used to be, though, as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
He always had a couple of team of the weeks.
You know what you're going to get as well. As soon as you see him come off the bench, you're like, yeah, long day. I've got to substitute my left back or right back, honestly.
Clever pass there for Veron, looking for the chip through ball.
There's kind of a FOMO thing with the SBCs. You know you're not spending 100K in Lozano, but then Manu just keeps winning, and you match a Lozano in Weekend League, and you're like, come on, man.
Yeah, man. And you know what it is as well? You know when you haven't done an SBC and it just ends up being like a great SBC, it's
always the way, isn't it?
Yeah, you're living in regret because you're conceding and your head's in your hands.
Do you remember like one item that you didn't do, and you were like, oh man?
Yeah, Lozano.
Yeah, probably the same. I don't think so. Normally I try to do as many as I can, to be honest, just so I don't miss out on any.
Yeah.
I think I've just completed in Mbappe as well, so
You have to sell the house, love.
oh man, don't even get me started. My club is empty. Nothing left.
Right, last 9 minutes of this one. Are we going to find our first win on paper for either of these two players? Or is it going to be 2 points from 6 for MANUBACHOORE? Yes, he may be unbeaten, but he'll still be looking for his first win in this competitive Group C. MANUBACHOORE still leads by a goal to nil against Sean in our other matchup. That one slightly behind this one.
I don't really like Laurent Blanc as much right now. I don't think he's good enough to be this environment, competitive environment. There's not much you can do, because you can pick Sol Campbell, you can pick, I don't know, Ferdinand maybe, but I don't like Blanc as much, and I did the SBC.
Yeah. I mean, 78 pace as well, that's a little bit of a kill. Obviously, positioning is what is now as well. He's really good. I do understand where you're coming from. I do love the SBC though. I've done him on my main on my RTG. So big up Laurent.
I mean, back to your point, he hasn't looked out of place yet, Gravison, but I understand the question mark over the French defender. Ribéry, another one of the French icons that's sprinkled into a lot of these teams. Final 3 minutes. Are we on for another draw? We saw a 2-2 against Anders Vergang with MANUBACHOORE. It would be Antonini's first point on the board after a 6-3 loss to Sean LDW. It's his first ever sort of land tournament that Antonini has been out. Ribéry does get pushed off the ball by Desailly. George Best could win that. Eusebio, he's onside.
Wow.
And it could be a bit of a smash and grab. The timing of that run, for him to come back onside unless the defender played the pass.
Wow.
I mean, MANUBACHOORE may have just given away a result. I've got to see this again. Schmeichel
Come on, Zambrota, man.
Underhit pass.
does well, but just also look how deep Desailly is. He just holds everybody on sides. But more importantly, the reaction there.
Do you think that's Manu's fault, Schmeichel's fault, or Zambrota's fault?
I'm going to have to say Schmeichel. I don't think Zambrotta can do much there. Obviously, it's a header. He's tried to jump up for it, but it's an underhit pass from Schmeichel, and you know, obviously Best got the best of him, and you know, Eusebio got there. So,
or is it the pros' fault?
Ooh. Ooh.
I mean, I know you answered Schmeichel because you would be, wouldn't you? You'd be going, that wasn't my fault. That was the goalie's fault. Right, we've got a full-time result here very quickly. There'll be a lot of happy Saudi fans watching this on. Abu Makar of Falcon Esports will pick up his first 3 points. His player, by the way, is Koulibaly. He might be out of the Saudi League with Al Hilal, but Koulibaly guarantees you one thing: pace. And he's had another upgrade. He goes from an 87 to an 88 rated. First game done and dusted for Abu Makar. This guy just doesn't give you really any reactions. When he qualified, he's just all business. 3 points on the board.
I mean, great start. 3 points out of 3. And the group now is interesting. We see Anders 1 point. Manu, if the game ends like this, 1 point as well. And then Abu Makar, Antonini, and Sean with 3 points. Oh.
And also, Abu Makar, clean sheet. He is the first player in a long time to keep a clean sheet. That is still our lowest scoring game we've seen at the FC Pro Open so far. 3 weeks in, 3 goals was the lowest. Now it's 2. He just controlled that game. I know we didn't watch loads of it, but from the outside in, a 2-0 result. The game was 0-0 for 45 minutes in it too. Yeah,
I mean, and to stay focused for basically 18 minutes, 9-minute halves, it's a very difficult task. You know, you don't really want to slip up, but like you mentioned, he was in control, had it under control, and yeah, looks very confident and very relaxed right now.
I like the attitude, and we know he's been a champion in his league, but can he bring championship level kind of statement internationally? I think he can.
He's got quite an interesting story as Abu Makar. I know a lot of people often think Saudi Arabia, MS Dessari. If you haven't been sort of following the scene for a long time, MS Dessari in Shaw has basically become sort of co-owner of Team Falcons, the team that Abu Makar does play for. Yes, Dessari did compete and was invited into the FC Pro Open Global Qualifier, but naturally got a lot more going on in his life. Abu Makar last year came in, he won the Saudi Pro League, which used to be Dessari's sort of tournament that we'd always win. He made an E-World Cup final route as well with Abu Makar, and he sort of has just become one of the next big names to come out of the Middle East. Big result for him there. We can see the total stats and shots on target. 4 shots, 2 goals. For Sean, he's wondering how on earth he can get back to winning ways. The good thing is for him, though, he has got 3 points on the board.
Which is important. It's important as well to just... I mean, if you just lose a game, at least you won the first one. So it's just kind of balanced in a way.
The key thing is that you've got to get points in this group. Yeah. Obviously, it goes without saying. There's been times where players have maybe got 1 point or 0 points. You have to leave with a win. At least 3 points in this group going into, you know, the New Year break and coming back for the next round of group stage.
Tien, what do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's going to be a very difficult one. Obviously, there's not a lot of time left, but I think if he can get the ball forward as he is right now, then anything is possible.
Are we looking at a Manu equaliser in the 90th minute? Oh, we're not. Schmeichel with a huge save. Still, this one could be alive. Big tackle from Frank Rijkaard. And that will do us. Huge 3 points on the board for Antoninigabrriel. There are lots of points being shared around here. The world champion will lose. And currently, he's about a win. 2 games in, 1 draw, 1 defeat. Antoninigabrriel, he's on 3 points. And as it currently stands, Sean's on 3 points. Antonini's on 3 points. And Abu Makar is on 3 points too.
Wow.